Yo, what's going on, people? It's Tuesday evening. We are back again, here to talk the best things in boxing as per usual. Here with the man them and Uncle them. Here with Sam and Uncle Benga. What's going on, guys?
Yo, what's good? What's happening?
We're good.
Hey, everything's good. Hello, boxing rap community.
We love that. So, guys, it's been again. We know it's full lockdown, so the listeners, first and foremost, don't forget to subscribe, like the page out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. For those of you wondering when we're going to do the call-in, I'll just say quickly on that. I think we're going to get the call-in really once the shows start popping again. So those of you that are listening, once you see that there's more shows, bigger shows, definitely be sure to tune in. But guys, I think last week, we touched on the Joshua Fury because we've got that announcement. This week, I want to talk about another heavyweight. Obviously, you guys can have the other topics, but I want to talk about the news that Dillian Whyte is planning or threatened, but it seems like he's planning to take to sue the WBC. And he's planning to sue the WBC because he's not got his title shot, and he doesn't believe he will get supposedly this title shot by the agreed date of February 2021. Guys, who wants to go first? Tell me your thoughts on that news.
I'll shoot. I mean, it was kind of expected, as we discussed last week. Dillian Whyte's getting any younger. He wants to be seen as one of the world's best, if not the champion in Britain. He needed to do that because that's his only kind of viable option to take legal action against the WBC. So then I think that could give him the kind of leeway to have a resolution, to have like another fight with Garcia or whatever. I think that's his name, like a mixed cross MMA fight. That will kind of give him kind of not peace of mind, but another avenue to build up his kind of profile and work on other gigs before getting to the title fight. I mean, I think after he fights Povetkin and comes out successful, I can't really see him fighting again unless it's for the title. Otherwise, it's just a major risk. But I mean, Uncle, you tell me more because you're a lawyer here, so you can talk to us more about the litigation process.
Okay, look, I'm not up to date with the WBC rules and regulations, but my feeling, my experience tells me that what Dillian Whyte announcing in the media that he's suing the WBC, or if he's actually launched a legal action, I need to ask, what is it actually for? I think it's ill-advised, premature. And I say that in the context, remember last week, I'm one of those who saying that Dillian Whyte deserves a shot for the WBC title. But we're now in June 2020. The cut-off date, which the WBC says needs to have his title shot by, is end of February 2021. So, I mean, that's about 8 months. Is that about 8 months away?
Yeah.
Why is he suing now?
Yeah.
What is he suing for?
Yeah, and I think
don't forget, it's a bad look because we're in a global pandemic, which has thrown boxing, all sports, day-to-day life out of kilter.
Yeah.
I think he's been wrongly advised. I mean, originally, let's forget, under the normal timeline, I think Fury and Wilder were meant to have their third match, was it July?
Yeah, it's July. I think that was...
Yeah, which will have left plenty of time for Dillian Whyte to get in the title shot before end of February 2021. And that's meant to be...
shot at fighting for one of the belts in heavyweight boxing. I think there's no arguments around that. I do think, however, trying to edge the blame essentially by saying you're going to sue a boxing body, I think is ill-advised. I think there's, we spoke about the prestige of the WBC. So, how would, in my mind, how would you expect, just because you're taking them to court, that they're going to honour the deal in the current climate? Because, as you said, at the moment, everything is out of kilter. We all know that even those of us that are not in the lawyer or live from a legal background, any contract that is legally binding and was put out of place because of the world events, I just don't see how you're going to be able to trump that.
Well, exactly. I mean, clearly you could argue that the pandemic is an act of God.
Yeah.
And all of that. But you see, the thing is, we have to be, which is why I'm saying I don't think this is well thought out. I don't think it looks good on Dillian Whyte. It's almost like saying, screw what's going on in the world.
Yes.
I'm not getting my title shot. And, all this stuff about Dillian Whyte. Look, they've been actually boxing.
Exactly. So but on that point though, Uncle, I think it's fair to say you're right. He's not the most hardest, or he's not the biggest victim in this world of boxing. But ultimately it is about, even if, he said that, they could make the fight. At the moment there's travel bans. So how were you expecting somebody in the UK to now that has to fight in the US? How are you expecting that to take place? Fans, a whole lot of other things. So I think it's definitely ill-advised. I do want to ask the question though, in terms of, do you think Hearn stands to gain anything from Whyte taking this action?
Yes, I do, because if Tyson Fury drops the WBC belt,
Mm-hmm.
and he fights for it, the promoter is covering his risk. Because he thinks if he gets Whyte an opponent who Whyte's big, then Whyte holds the prestigious WBC title, and then don't forget, from his perspective, the other belts might be on the line between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. So from a promotional side, he's covering his risk, if you want to put it that way. And I'm not, let's go fair. Bob Arum and Frank Warren are doing exactly the same thing. They've got no interest really in fighting Dillian Whyte at this time, because Dillian Whyte at least is not exactly the easiest fight in the world. But what Bob Arum was saying the other day in the media was actually scandalous, but then that's Bob Arum for you. He's not known for being honourable and truthful, is he?
Yeah.
If Dillian Whyte was Bob Arum's fighter, he would be shouting that this is the biggest, the biggest scandal in boxing, etc., etc. So, I can see things from all sides. I just think that Dillian Whyte just needs to keep calm, get ready for his Povetkin fight, and then see where the land lies, and then take action accordingly.
Yeah.
You see, I'm very particular about boxers maximizing their economic opportunities, which is what I want Dillian Whyte to do. I'm not a Dillian Whyte fan, like I said last week, but I do respect him. I respect where he's come from and what he's achieved. And
that's definitely fair enough, and I think we're definitely all the same. So, and in terms, and this is a question for both of you, so Sam, I hope you're still awake. With Dillian Whyte, do you think we spoke about the path he's aligned? We know the path in terms of sticking to the WBC. There's talk of potentially Tyson Fury being raised to be at some type of a franchise champion. Do you think, from a Dillian Whyte's perspective, him being awarded a belt similar to the way Devin Haney was, or even Charlo was, because Lomachenko and Canelo were raised to franchise champions, do you think that taints him becoming a champion, or do you think he still needs to go out and fight, an Ortiz or somebody like that?
No, 100%. I think it just dilutes the brand of the WBC. Obviously, you can't go from talking prestigious to them, and prestigious kind of has connotations of being historic in its ways. You can't just go then and change what's been history for so many years. I think I just don't think it's appropriate. I don't think it's a good look on Dillian Whyte. I think he'll be put under a lot of scrutiny, not just because he's doing it, but also because of the WBC. But the general answer to that is I just think that it's not a good look for Dillian, for Team Whyte. But it might be his only way to get in the history books, because it doesn't look like he's getting the title shot for a while. He's actually not.
Yeah. What I'd like to say about that, I think this franchise belt, pardon my French, but I'm going to say it, because it's after 8 o'clock, It's a load of fucking bullshit, Basically they designed the franchise belt for Canelo, so he could do whatever he wants to do and avoid mandatories if he didn't want to. So it's almost like you have the franchise belt and make the WBC main champion also like a secondary belt. The WBA actually started this rubbish when they have the WBA super champion, then they have a regular champion, which is how someone like Rocky Fielding, nice guy, or how Rocky Fielding could actually be called a world champion is beyond me. But of course, he got a good economic opportunity, made some money, so Canelo could pick up a belt easily at super middleweight. I just think it's. I think it's. Let's be honest. It's a bloody liberty. But then the history of boxing is that these things happen.
So, yeah, exactly. So, guys, I want to move onto another topic. Before we get to the last week when we discussed the whole Joshua Fury fight, the agreement in principle, if that's what they like to call it. Few days after, there was a bit of excitement, but then there seemed to be a lot of criticism coming from the Irish media towards somebody that was named in Tyson Fury's speech, a gentleman called Daniel Kinahan, who was behind the sort of founding of MTK. He's no longer a part of them anymore, but he was. Seems to be a lot of criticism of him, people asking about his background, people asking that him being involved with boxing is a negative thing, although, the likes of Arum and Warren have come out and spoken reasonably well of him, and obviously Eddie Hearn's doing a deal with him. What do you make of this sort of, I guess it's fair to say, news or backlash that's coming out of the Irish media, and do you think it can have any effect on the light that will be shone on the fight, which is Joshua versus Fury?
No way. I don't think so. We're talking about Daniel, even though, all the alleged stuff, this accusations made against Mr. Kinahan, he's not that big to the casuals. Casual boxing fans aren't really going to take fuss to the fact that it's an alleged dodgy dealer and a kind of thug being involved, as people have been labelled. This is not my words, this is what people have said about him being involved in the fight. I don't think it takes anything away from that. I just think from the moral high ground and see there's maybe a moral hazard for someone of his nature to be involved in the fight. But at the same time, I think actions being taken. I've just seen reports this morning that he's dropped as an advisor by I think it's Garcia Sports, the sports management company.
Okay.
He's cut I mean, BT have openly come out and criticised that, and it means they're going to be out of the fight. So they're going to be not wanting anything to do with the fight. So if anything, that's a positive for deserving any cash hand.
So BT have come out and said what BT? Just clarifying that a bit. What have you heard from BT?
Allegedly, BT said they want nothing to do with Daniel Pinan.
Okay.
So apparently Sky Sports are even following that stance to distance themselves from the negotiations if there are links with him.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Guys, okay. Can I come in?
Yeah, of course.
Look, I think this is there are a lot of multi-dimensional issues here, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, I don't want to repeat what's been said about the Irish gentleman, Daniel Kehan, because that's there in the media. I do not know him. I'm not a friend of his. I don't know whether it's truthful or lies, all allegations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's irrelevant. I'm a boxing man, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What we do know about boxing is there have been a lot of good people who are involved in boxing, and there have also been some negative people whose society will view as negative people in boxing. And by that I mean you read about Frankie Cabo, the mob, the mafia,
mm-hmm.
when they've been involved in boxing, etc. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And there's one of the problems with boxing, there's no global or uniform regulation per se.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have sports commissions, the governing bodies, etc. Now, the issue is this is a big fight. So Joshua and Fury, too, if they keep their belts, Joshua versus Fury, if they keep their belts, it's going to happen. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality of the situation. And it's going to do massive numbers on pay-per-view. I'm not going to come on here and condone people doing bad things, no. But I don't know if they have, there's all kinds of stories out there, yeah? To build on what we discussed last week, remember we spoke about Joshua getting slated for the Black Lives Matter
mm-hmm.
issue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is sometimes some of the hypocrisy that you get in society and even sometimes in boxing, or people try and hijack off the back of a boxer. Joshua was criticized for being a racist because he was speaking up for his community, which was all bull. If you listen to the whole speech he read out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The reason this guy's name was mentioned was because Tyson Fury, I think, was on Instagram, on social media platform, did a short video thanking Daniel for the negotiations.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all done. And he mentioned Daniel's name. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is why BT were taken aback by it. Now, BT has spent a lot of money on Tyson Fury promoting his fight. Sky has spent a lot of money on Joshua. But of course, they don't want to look bad. The perception is that they're doing deals with dodgy people.
Mm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, as far as I'm aware, no contracts have been signed or anything. It's just an agreement in principle between the main people, AJ's advisors, MTK Global, who advised Tyson Fury and a lot of fighters, etc. So I think we just need to take a step back before everybody's getting their knickers in a twist. In doing my research for this show, I went and I checked what Sandra Vaughan, who's the CEO of MTK Global,
mm-hmm.
right? The understanding from what this is not my word, what she's publicly disclosed in the media is that the gentleman, Daniel Kehan, no longer has anything to do with MTK Global, that there was a buyout.
Yeah.
A few years ago. So, of course, banking. You guys, who've worked in the financial services sector, like myself, have done big deals. You do your due diligence, yeah, of the other side and all of that. So if everything is above board, then I see no issues why the fight can't happen. If one of the UK broadcasters does not want to be involved, you know what? It actually makes the pay-per-view broadcast less complicated, because I thought on the UK side, I was thinking they'd have to do what the Americans had to do, like Fox and ESPN combining for joint broadcast, which has been done a few times. Showtime and HBO for Pacquiao Mayweather. Okay, so it might, in a funny way, the controversy is, I haven't seen the reports about Sky saying anything. It was just BC Sports I saw doing my research. So it might actually make it simpler. But I cannot believe that the TV broadcasters, BT Sports, won't want to be involved in what is going to do fantastic numbers.
Yeah.
It just doesn't... because, if you put an investment into someone like, let's say, Tyson Fury, now you're about to even maximize profits even more. Why would you not do it?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I don't want us to start being critical. Oh, and did you notice, BT Sports, but I didn't hear a lot, the people who were slamming Anthony Joshua the other week. I haven't heard them coming to complain about the potential involvement of certain parties in this fight. Yeah?
Exactly. No, for sure.
So the reason I point that out, as you know, I'm a big admirer of Tyson Fury. But the thing about, there's lots of smoke and mirrors in boxing.
Yeah. No, for sure. So listen, Uncle, and Sam, I'm gonna move on to your point. So I know you want to raise a couple of points. So do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, we've discussed the majority of them, but one point I wanted to raise recently, yesterday we saw a tweet from Oscar De La Hoya in regards to a potential fight lined up for Ryan Garcia. Let me just see if I can get the tweet up. Ryan Garcia, basically, Oscar De La Hoya speaks out and basically criticizes Ryan Garcia in a way by saying his team have decided to postpone a bout that was set to go in July, I believe. And Ryan Garcia came out and just basically said, "You're meant to be my promoter. Why are you kind of slandering me?" So it's basically says, due to seeing Garcia decision not to accept a July 4th bout, we will now return later in July with the future of boxing, Virgin Ortiz. More exciting details to follow. And then kind of Ryan Garcia came out and spat his toys out and threw out the tent, rightfully so, to be fair. And there's been a lot of reaction on that, with Charlo's brother saying that Uncle Al Heyman is the best man to go to, and when he was once with Oscar De La Hoya, he made £100,000, and now with Al Heyman, he's made 10 times that, and just basically saying it's about him to kind of take ownership of what he's doing and do other things. But I've also seen similar tweets from other people saying that he should take the route that Devin Haney, Canelo, and all those other guys have done, which is a Triple G, which is to form their own promotion entity and negotiate directly with the zone on their behalf, and naturally all the other parties relevant. So I just wanted to touch on that. What your thoughts initially? This is a big falling out. Is it a jealousy thing with Oscar De La Hoya? What's your thoughts?
Uncle, do you want to take this one?
Okay, yes. Okay, let me start on this one. Look, for me, I was laughing because I caught wind of this actually a few weeks ago. So it seems as if it's all now exploded. I think the issue, Sam, is with the COVID situation, and you can't get like normal crowds at the box, so the people might be fighting behind closed doors. It affects the revenue, so it has a real economic impact. So basically, there's no live gate or reduced live gate. So the offer to Ryan Garcia was to take this fight for $200,000. Is my understanding. And Ryan was like, "Yeah, man, what kind of this? How can you be paying me $200,000, etc.?" Because of course, Ryan Garcia has an inflated sense of himself. He thinks he's arrived and he hasn't. But he is what he is. So he thinks the offer is derogatory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, I do not like Oscar De La Hoya. I do not like him as a man. I do not like him as a promoter. I have very strong views about Oscar De La Hoya. He's been a hypocrite. I don't want to list all the things Oscar has done. The way he slammed Mayweather or wanted to do the same thing, I dislike people trying to pretend they're one thing and behaving another way. He proved he wasn't actually a smart businessman. The way he lost what everybody thought was a golden boy stable, because whilst they were fighting on Golden Boy promotions, they actually, all those fighters, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, the Charlos, all of them were actually with Uncle Al Heyman. Yeah? And because of the good relationship Uncle Al Heyman, Mayweather had with the former CEO of Golden Boy, Richard Chaser. So when he did the dirty on Richard Chaser, they all moved away from. Basically, all they had was Canelo. My understanding is Canelo doesn't even like Oscar.
Yeah.
He's just tolerating him because of the deal they signed. They're not on good terms. And the first time, Oscar and Ryan have fallen out. I do not like promoters going out and flagging fighters off. I think Ryan Garcia has issues. Yeah? I think he should do less talking, less on social media, and be learning his craft. Because he's writing checks with his mouth. I don't think his talent can cash.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying about, the reality of the situation. Golden Boy, think about who they got. Virgil Ortiz is now claiming Virgil Ortiz is the future of boxing, yeah?
Yeah.
Before it was Ryan Garcia. And people don't like him. All the things Oscar said he was going to do, he didn't do. Which is why fighters do not like fighting.
So I think on that point, and I think, and I agree, and I think if we look at it and scale it back, because Sam, you referred to the Charlo, and Uncle, you've spoken about like the recent news from Canelo and De La Hoya not getting on, and I think there's too much traction. Mayweather's a clear one. We think about Andy Ruiz. That was a recent one. We think of Luis Ortiz as well. That was another one that was signed and was quick to jump ship. And this was outside of, the whole Heyman-Schaefer siege, if you like. So I do think there's no smoke without fire. I think with De La Hoya, and whether it's because he was a great fighter, so he misses the buzz, I think sometimes he lets his emotions get the better of him when he speaks. And we see that, especially when he's been critical of Mayweather, then he does things that Mayweather does. I always look back to even the deal around the Canelo deal. It felt that, okay, we know you're the promoter for Canelo and the Triple G negotiations are tough, but again, sometimes I just felt he went below the belt. So I think this is not new territory for De La Hoya. I think he's probably looking at maybe Garcia looking elsewhere, because I mean, as random as it might sound, and you might be like, really? I've heard that Canelo's looking around because he's really not happy with his DAZN deal, and he's really looking at a side that you might think, wow, but in theory, it makes sense because he wants the fights, he wants the Plant, and he wants the Benavides fight. So he's been, from what a few little things I've heard, but nothing concrete. That's a potential. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting how De La Hoya manages this for Garcia.
Yeah, Kojo, I think we should just dig into that a bit more. You know, when Canelo signed that DAZN deal, everybody was saying, "Oh, it's fantastic, the biggest deal in sport." Was it 10 fights?
Yes, 11 fights.
11 fights for $320 million. Honestly, I didn't think that was a great deal.
Exactly.
You know why? Because DAZN is a new streaming platform, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so they're using Canelo because they think it's the face of boxing. But you know, the thing is, Canelo is a proven pay-per-view. It's a proven pay-per-view success, yeah?
Yes.
So, really, when I thought about it, I thought, you know what? Canelo is putting a lead by signing this deal on what he could actually earn. Don't forget, when Mayweather had that 6-5 deal, okay, when he came out of prison with Showtime, it was a $300 million deal, yeah?
Yep.
But that was just like a minimum. With the model in place, Mayweather from that deal alone earned about $800 million.
Yeah.
You know, getting paid over $300 million twice.
Exactly.
And about $150 million against Canelo, because we did massive numbers on proven pay-per-view platforms.
Yeah.
My issue is, I don't think DAZN is making that traction.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's difficult to measure, but they're not making. So I doubt that their economy. I think basically Canelo sold himself for a pot of gold, as opposed to having. I mean, if you think about it, Mayweather in one fight, in 2 fights, made $300 million twice.
Exactly. Crazy.
That's different. The way people consume TV is way different. The way people consume TV is so different.
That's true. But what I'm saying, Sam, is that, look, would you go with a proven pay-per-view model, or would you put a lid on your potential earnings, signing up with a streaming deal? Would say, you know what, I'm going to pay you X, but you're not getting the upside.
I mean, 100%.
Oh, no, of course. From your perspective, the way you're putting it,
So,
100%.
I think, you know, how can I put it? You know, I mean, I could say some really inflammatory things about Oscar De La Hoya, but because I'm a gentleman, I don't want to do that. I mean, let's just say that I think I'm not surprised Canelo doesn't think much of him. And I know the great Mexican warriors, that great country with all the great fighters they've had, there are certain conducts that don't go down very well. And I think those in boxing know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, for sure, we follow you 100. So Sam, I think that's in terms of the Garcia. I think you know he's got to really make his mind up, because I think it is a dig from De La Hoya, and you know I think he's too young to be having these back and forth with his promoter, when the key thing he does need to be focusing on is his craft. So yeah, I think legally he's got to check his position and then see. But I don't think it looks good. I don't think it looks good for De La Hoya.
But in his defense, though, he's a big star.
Yeah.
Following his reach.
Yeah,
He makes a lot of money at his age for outside of the result.
Yeah, and that's why I think he's got to make a decision. Sorry, go on, Uncle.
You know, there's nothing new about promoters and boxers not getting on. Yeah? Do you remember the famous quote from Mickey Duff back in the day? about him and Lloyd Honeyghan, about them not getting on or not liking each other.
No.
Yes? And Mickey Duff said, look, he didn't flag Honeyghan off publicly. All he said is there's nothing in the contract that actually says we have to like each other.
Yeah.
Okay? And Honeyghan and Mickey Duff worked together successfully. You understand? Look, promoters do not have to like fighters. Fighters do not want going into print, flagging your fighters off. I mean, what's that all about?
Yeah.
Behind closed doors, call each other names. Well, why, now we all know that, there's a serious issue between these guys. And, it's not the first time.
Yeah, exactly. No, for sure.
I mean, one of the things I liked in recent times, did you notice when Billy Joe Saunders moved from Frank Warren not so long ago?
Mm-hmm.
Publicly, I don't know what happened behind closed doors. I had no reason to think there was anything untoward behind closed doors. See how warmly Billy Joe Saunders spoke about Frank Warren and how warmly Frank Warren spoke about Billy Joe.
Yeah.
That's, those are men. That's how you deal with things properly. No slagging each other like school, I mean, look at how old is Oscar?
Exactly. And that's what I mean with him. So yeah. So guys, listen. Any last topic before we head out? Anything that you want to raise?
One thing I'd like to say is look. Did you hear about? I think particularly in this time, it's worth saying Marcus Rashford, the footballer.
Yes.
Manchester United striker. Yeah. Get them writing to the government and getting them to change their minds about providing meals for disadvantaged kids, etc.
Yeah.
I think, this is like AJ, this is a perfect example of sportsmen using their platform to achieve good in community, and highly commendable.
Yeah.
Like I said last week, AJ's message in terms of the Black Lives Movement, Tyson Fury in terms of all the stuff he's been doing in the lockdown with the workouts, him and his family, and motivating people. There was a lady who hadn't touched alcohol, motivated by Tyson Fury sessions. So it's good to see sportsmen like Marcus Rashford, our boxers, having a positive influence in society beyond their craft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree.
So I think we should give a big shout out to the guys for that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Totally agree with you on that. And it's a great initiative that he started, and great to see that he's using his platform for other things. So, guys, listen, it's been a great chat. Looking forward, we're kind of getting into July, not far now, so we're going to start seeing more fights over in the UK. We're seeing tonight Josh Greer Jr. is fighting over in the States. He was supposed to fight for the WBO bantamweight belt against Casemiro, but with all things being COVID, that couldn't be arranged. So he's taken a bit of a tune-up, keep busy fight, similar to Shakur Stevenson, but he is a talent that I think we should keep an eye out for in that division. So Josh Greer Jr., good luck for your fight tonight. And guys, had a great chat talking boxing. Look forward to this next week, and look forward to all the news in boxing that comes out. So take it easy, guys, and we're signing out. For all of those listening, don't forget to share, subscribe on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. All the same name, Raps on TV. Peace, we're out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
thanks, guys.